to you about opening principles. By the end of this lecture, hopefully you'll have a much better understanding on how to play the beginning phase of a game, and also just better explanations and illustrations on a lot of the rules that you just don't understand. So one of the things that I think should be explained to kind of understand the dynamics of the pieces and the struggle that's going on between white and black in the opening phase of the game is to understand the board. And the reason why that is because the first thing that needs to be pointed out is that white actually controls half of the board. Okay, and that's white's side. And for blacks, it's everything from the 5th rank to the 8th rank. Okay, so they both share an equal amount of space. Now, the second thing that needs to be understood is the relationship of the pieces compared to the board. And the way we do that is to observe a piece on a center square. And the center squares, just to point that out, are these 4 squares right here. Okay, so by placing a piece in a center square, we realize that the piece actually could move to 8 squares in this case. And if we placed a knight on the A1 square, it could move to 2 squares. The piece could move to 13 squares, and here it moves to 6 squares. Now, by following that exercise, if we place every single piece in the center and on the corner of the board, we realize that the closer a piece is to the center, the more squares it can move to. Okay, so what do we learn about the pieces in relation to the board and the center? And that's that the closer the pieces are to the center, the more squares it can move to. And the value of a piece is judged by the amount of squares or possibilities it has. So the closer the pieces are to the center, the more valuable they are. Okay. Now, with that said, I could say that a great chess player said that the player who controls the center, in essence, controls the game. Okay. Now that we understand that both sides control an equal share amount of space, and that the closer their pieces are to the center, the more squares the pieces cover. So in other words, the more space they control, then we can start explaining as to what's going on. You see, the first moves in a chess game are really a battle of space and time. What you're trying to do is to develop your pieces as quickly as possible, and you're trying to gain as much space as possible in your opponent, because we could really say in an abstract way that a chess game is a game of timing or of time.